Now, you've probably been wondering why my entire channel recently is about Elite Dangerous, and I'll answer that question. It's bloody amazing. Take this from someone who's a little bit too obsessed with astronomy. It's awesome. Just beautiful. Breathtaking, if you will. Especially for a game. I've been making a lot of videos on Elite Dangerous. It's about time I truly reviewed it. So, here it goes. Let me start with this. This game is stunning. Not to mention, it came out in 2014. However, I'll be reviewing the Horizons DLC, which came out late 2015. Still being over 5 years old, it's beautiful. And the graphics card requirements are incredibly low, only needing a quad-core CPU, an NVIDIA GeForce 260 or greater, 4GB of RAM, and 7GB of storage. Those are the minimum specifications. Elite Dangerous is massive! Go as far to say it has the largest map in a game I've ever played. Elite Dangerous' map is a 1-to-1 scale of the galaxy. That's about 400 billion stars, almost all of them with a planetary system as well. Let me also mention, the planets look stunning, especially the ones with atmospheres, which are sadly not landable until Odyssey comes out late spring this year. Alright, obviously audio is important, even for a space sim. And let me tell you, Frontier's audio team for Elite did so good, it's scary. From the speakers in a station, to the hum of your ship's engine, to asteroids blowing up. Sound is what makes this game. If you've ever watched a review of Elite Dangerous, I would guess they all talk about just how many controls the game has. This game has... hold on, let me check. A lot of controls. There are actually 339 controls. I just counted that entire sheet, my eyes hurt, and I'm sorry if I miscounted. Anyway, 339 controls! You need more than 5 keyboards for that. So, of course, you could use the keyboard. Or get a $350 fly stick from a site that takes 1.5 months to deliver. So, of course, it's what I did. I bought the Thrustmaster T16000M. You may have heard of this. It's a hands-on throttle and stick, or HOTAS, with about 36 buttons or so. It's the perfect amount for all 339 controls. Actually, it does work well. I really feel like I'm piloting the ship using a HOTAS, but that meant I had to learn the full controls twice. I have a full time on this game of 509 hours. Well, I have 509 hours on this game. And of that, 9 or 10 of them are figuring out controls. Another 150 to learn advanced flight. So I'm sure how you can see this as a predicament. Bounty hunting or mining takes the most control, as you need to cycle through weapons, systems, engines, switch fire groups, move your ship, fire weapons, keep your eye on the target, boost, turn, collect, low wake, or high wake. These are a few. I'll explain low wake and high wake in the next segment. The bubble. The calm, known part of the galaxy. It spans for about 100 to 150 light years, with most of the stars there inhabited by humans. Stations, outposts, and cities are all in this location. There are 4 other habited areas, 2 in real nebula, the Pleiades Nebula and the Coalsack Nebula. There are also 2 other inhabited areas in fake places. Colonia, 22,000 light-years from the bubble, and 1 station around 1,000 light-years from Sagittarius A star a real black hole in the center of our galaxy. Now, about a wake. That I mentioned in part 2. A low wake is when you charge your frameshift drive to speeds of 30 kilometers per second to over 200 times the speed of light, or C. A high wake is when you charge your frameshift drive in order to jump to another star system, which goes anywhere from 2,000 to 11,000 C. Whether that's 1 light year away or 200 plus. The only way to get to 200 light years is by supercharging your frameshift drive. How to supercharge? I just mentioned supercharging your frameshift drive, but how do you do that? Well, you need 4 things. A ship, a frameshift drive, which every ship must have, a fuel scoop, used to gather mass from stars to make fuel, and a neutron star, or white dwarf. You can look up neutron plotter and find some. In order to supercharge without fail, I recommend turning on orbit lines. You can find this in the ship screen on the 3rd section. Then, fly into the jet of the neutron star. Make sure not to go anywhere near the circle of the neutron star. Sometimes the circle won't show up, so just don't go anywhere near the star. You can still enter the jet. Once in the jet of the star, your ship will move on its own. Try to maintain control and do not let the front of your ship point towards the star. Wait in the jet until you hear. Then, throttle up and out of the jet. Plot your route to your desired star, and engage a high wake. You just supercharged. Playing the game for the first time, if you aren't overwhelmed by the amount of controls, you'll realize there's no story. And there isn't. Elite Dangerous is kind of like a sandbox game that way. You choose what you do. Whether that's trading, mining, bounty hunting, assassinating, exploring, raiding, murdering, or slave trading, I personally don't care. Neither does the game. Sure, your actions will have consequences, like if you kill an innocent person, you'll get a bounty. If you explore, more stars will be discovered, along with points of interest and planets. If you mine, rings and asteroid belts can become depleted after 6 months or so. If you trade in a system and a boom, they'll expand. So be creative, have fun. I can recommend you some things depending on what you like. If you like explosions, core mining and bounty hunting might be nice for you. If you want to find something never before found, try exploring. If you want to be an ally to a superpower, whether it's the Empire, Alliance, or Federation, pledge your allegiance to them and start working. If you want to steal, you might want to give piracy a shot. There are also cities and SRVs in the Horizons DLC. Horizons, which is now free with every copy of Elite Dangerous, allows commanders to land on every non-atmospheric planet, no matter where it is. Cities are, well, cities. They're planetary stations with all the normal things you could typically expect from an Elite Dangerous station. SRVs can be deployed once you land on the planetary surface, not landing pads. To first get an SRV, you must go to Outfitting, available in most station services tab. To go to Optional Internal, and look for a planetary vehicle bay. Once bought, you can buy an SRV to put in it. Not all stations have planetary vehicle bays, but you may need to look up where they can be found. To land, deploy your landing gear at around 2.5 kilometers or less, and a map of the planetary surface will show up when you have deployed them. At approximately 1 kilometer from the ground, your canopy will tell you if the surface is okay in alignment, unlandable at the current spot for your ship, or you are unaligned, but can. You can then go to the bottom panel and click Launch SRV. Then your commander will get up and in the SRV. The ship will lower you down onto the planetary surface, and you can drive around and examine plant life. Not all planets have plant life. You can also mine in an SRV or go to crash sites, which are some of the main things they are used for. There's something I haven't mentioned. Something secretive. Lore. Most things have it. Elites is interesting. I didn't mention one thing you can do in this game. Xenohunt. There is a very aggressive extraterrestrial race called the Thargoids. They have already made one ancient race go extinct, the Guardians. Ruins can be found of the ancient race, and can give you one hell of a frameshift drive. Thargoid locations are eerily close to where the bubble is, both hotspots for Thargoids' inhabited areas. These locations are the Pleiades Nebula and Coalsack Nebula. And, sometime 3 years ago, Thargoids attacked the Pleiades stations, leaving many people killed and even more wounded. Even now, Thargoids are picking up activity again. Now, when you get hyperdicted, being pulled out of a high wake jump, there can be two or more Thargoids instead of just one. And let me tell you, when you get hyperdicted, it is scary. Recently, there was another attack on stations. Not by Thargoids, but by terrorists. This time, I was there for it. Multiple stations, including every superpower's capital station, got bombed. More people died. More people were wounded. The lore of this game is intense. This was just a tip of Elite. Frontier Developments have a virtual reality support for this game. I would watch someone else's video on that though, as I don't play Elite Dangerous in VR much. I'll try to find somebody who has virtual reality version of this, and I'll link it in the description. I'm going to personally recommend this game. However, if you don't want to take the time to learn the controls, I wouldn't recommend it. If you like explosions, minor heart attacks, discovery, or the idea of flying a ship in space intrigues you, get it. However, I would wait for it to go on sale on Steam, as it goes 75% off to only $7.50. That's when I would buy it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to plug a subscribe here because I spent nearly 10 hours writing, clipping, and editing this. And if you want more reviews or have a game for me to review, tell me in the comments. And this is Verse, signing off.